Previously, after meeting Atui, Haiku's life has been turned upside down as she tries to deal with the princess and her quest for love. Will Atui finally find love after moving to the inn, or will she cause Haiku more problems? Rulutia asks Atui to go shopping with her, even though it's unusual of her, and Atui says that she's still scared to go out on her own. While they walk past the large crowd, Atui spots a store and insists on shopping there. She rushes in and finds out that it contains erotic books, which she always fantasized about. I wonder what she will find there. She soon sees a book written by a famous author, Roria, and she quickly purchases one. Elsewhere, Haiku and Kiru are seen hanging decorations for the upcoming princess's birthday, which is an important festival in the capital. Haiku hears a voice and thinks that the girl passing is Nikoni, causing a confused Kiru to fall from the ladder. Unfortunately, the girl isn't Nikoni, and Haiku has no choice but to apologize to Kiru. Meanwhile, while Rulutia and Atui return home, an elaborately dressed girl with a leopard tail booms into Atui, causing the two of them to fall to the ground. She sees the book Atui bought, opens it, and falls in love with it. She takes the book as an offering and runs off, which makes Atui sad. I guess she won't be using it for educational purposes any longer. Kiru then decides to tell Haiku more about the princess of Yamato, even though he hasn't seen her before. He states that the princess will show her face for the first time to the people, which makes Haiku wonder if she's prettier than Nikon, prompting Kiru to fall off his stepladder again. At the Hakirakaku, Nikon searches for Rulutia and Atui to prepare for the festival as they are princesses. She sees Kion, who tells her that they went shopping and asks her to have a taste of the meal she prepared based on something Rulutia has made before. I can already tell this would not end well. Meanwhile, Rulutia and Atui continue to walk home, and Rulutia tries to console her due to what happened earlier. However, a handsome man approaches them, and Atui immediately recognizes him as Rora. He tells her that he witnessed what happened earlier and offers her another copy as a replacement, causing Atui to fall and faint out of overexcitement. For research purposes, of course. Soon after, Haiku convinces Kiru into getting some meal with the money Kion gave them, saying that they can't work on an empty stomach, and they hear a waiter asking a girl to pay for the skewers she ate. However, the girl does not understand the concept of paying for meals, and Kiru decides to find out what's happening. Yeah, I don't understand the concept of paying either. The girl turns out to be the leopard-tailed girl, and Haiku isn't interested in the situation and grabs some skewers. Wise choice, bro. After eating some skewers, Haiku decides to get some real meals, but Kiru tells him that they spent all the money on skewers, even though the girl ate most of it, and Haiku cries inside, but doesn't show it. While the three walk, the girl spots the gate of the imperial capital and asks if there are truly mountains and seas outside. Kiru answers her and asks where she's from. He also offers to take her home if she's lost, but the girl points to the royal court, which surprises them. Kiru thinks that they should take her to the guard, and Haiku tells her to stop the jokes, but the girl is suddenly gone before they could take any action. Back at Hakirakaku, Kion takes Nikon to the kitchen to taste the meal, but finds the leopard-tailed girl eating the dessert Kion worked hard to cook. Angry, Kion gets a rod, but the girl runs off quickly, escaping Kion's punishment. Haiku and Kiru soon arrive, but Kion thinks the girl came back to have some of the meal again and hits the rod on Haiku's head. While Haiku and Kiru figure out what's happening, they hear a scream. It turns out that Rulutia and Atui find the girl reading the book she took from Atui in the lounge. Kion sees it as another opportunity to punish her, but the girl runs off. However, she bumps into Haiku in the hall and falls to the ground. Unable to escape again, Kion asks her to clean for penance. After cleaning, Kion offers her a cup of tea, but a lady arrives and starts to spank the girl for escaping from her room and disturbing everyone, and everyone watches on in surprise. Kiru soon recognizes the lady as Munachika, one of the 8 pillars of General Yamato, the Guardian. Munachika then asks the girl to apologize, but she refuses, saying that sorry is a word she will never say. Munachika has no choice but to apologize for her behavior and leaves with her. However, a generous Atui gives her a copy of the book. On their way, Munachika checks the book as the girl hates reading, but gets intrigued by the content and asks to keep it for her edification. It's the day of the festival. Haiku and Kion move among the crowd as spectators, while Rulutia and Atui are beautifully dressed. Haiku recognizes Oshtor and his fellow Imperial guards alongside a pillared general. Even though Haiku gets intimidated by Virai's eyes, they also notice that Munachika isn't there, but she soon arrives with the palanquin. The princess steps out of the palanquin, and Haiku is shocked, as the princess is the girl with the leopard tail. Kion isn't shocked, stating that she thought as much, and the girl introduces herself as Anju, the heir to the emperor. Soon, a grand ship is seen in the port in the imperial capital, and Dikopompo, one of the 8 pillared generals, discusses his plans with Bakoanante, as idle rich are arriving from different cities. Everyone is eager to place their bets, while Haiku, Ukon, and Atui are seen among the masked rich coming on board. Atui seems distracted, and Haiku thinks he made a mistake of bringing her instead of Kion, as he thinks Kion would be a problem. Ukon reminds Haiku their mission is to expose Dekopompo corruption, and Haiku wonders why he couldn't do it himself. Soon Dekopompo arrives and addresses the audience, telling them to enjoy themselves as he has prepared the finest sake for the banquet. Ukon explains that he has been trying to uncover evidence of Dekopompo's corruption for a long time, but he falls out of his grasp as he has served the emperor for a long time and he has influence in the court. Dekopompo opens the underground gambling. He releases 2 insects to begin the fight, and the audience bets on their champion. Haiku asks for money to gamble, but Ukon tells him to hustle and leaves. Haiku follows him and asks why has he been acting weird lately, but Ukon ignores him and knocks out 2 guards, leaving Haiku surprised. The 2 walk into the room and they see a wall of red eyes. Ukon gets furious after seeing the walls and ignores Haiku again, forcing Haiku to hit him on the head. Ukon finally explains the story to him. A long time ago, a single bug entered the capital and made its nest underground. The bug breeds by laying his eggs on many lives, but it already has too many victims when they found it. They try to destroy it with fire, but one of the victims is a young child, and Ukon could still remember the look on his father's face. Haiku thinks that he has had enough proof against Dikopompo, but Ukon explains that some of the guests are also nobles of the court, and they don't have enough proof yet. A bug breaks the cage housing as they leave. The 2 return to the crowd, and Atui informs Haiku that she had been looking out for any suspicious person while she placed the bet. There is a loud noise, and a bug kills the guy, warning the rest about the bugs as they escape from the cage. Everyone is terrified. Ukon kills one of the bugs, but finds out that they are in all directions, and Haiku wonders what the owner is doing. Bakoanante meets Dikopompo to inform him about the situation and apologize to him, but Dikopompo does not feel concerned and asks him not to lose any gold dust. Bakoanante packs all the measures, but the golden statue of the goddess falls off the table. Ukon kills the bugs as he cannot leave the citizens alone, and Atui kills one of the bugs with her sword also. Ukon soon asks Haiku to inspect Dikopompo's room as it will be unguarded. Meanwhile, Dikopompo tries to escape alongside Bakoanante, but Dikopompo finds out that the statue is missing. While Haiku inspects the room, he sees the statue on the floor and figures out that the statue will be enough evidence against Dikopompo. However, Bakoanante returns to retrieve the statue. He dashes his sword towards Haiku, but he blocks the attack with the statue, splitting it into 2. As he launches another attack, Aoji and Nosuri shoot an arrow at his sword and expose a fake paper of evidence against Dikopompo, allowing Haiku to escape. Atui's overexcited attack causes a hole in the ship and it begins to sink. Ukon returns to save Haiku and insists that he throws away the statue, even though Haiku initially disagrees. On getting to the surface, the 2 see Kion and the rest of the team helping wounded people but ignore them, which surprises Haiku. Haiku informs him that he called the team to ensure that they have a backup, but soon spots the bugs stinging the people trying to swim out. Ukon tells him not to worry, as he is not the only one with a backup plan, and Mikazuchi, the royal general of the left, arrives with his team and attacks the bugs. Haiku and Ukon share some time, and Ukon asks him how it feels not to have any memories. Ukon also reminisces about his father and says that he is working hard to serve the capital just like his father, and Haiku tells him that his father will be happy. Haiku figures out that it was Oshtor who summoned Mikazuchi, as only a general can summon another general, and Ukon says that they should get a drink, with him paying the bills. The next morning, Haiku remembers his conversation with Ukon, as he has been given a mission to investigate the neighboring nation, Tsukuru. While Haiku wonders how he would infiltrate the palace, a girl with a spirit animal on her shoulder looks at him. Upon returning from his mission, Haiku finds Kion prepared to leave, and he is surprised by this. He asks for an explanation. However, they are interrupted by Aruru and Kamyu, messengers from Tsukuru. Kion is shocked at how they are able to find her so quickly, and they reveal that they followed Haiku because he had her smell all over him. Haiku discovers that Kion is their sister, and she informs him that they are the most overprotective members of her family, hence she doesn't like them around. Afterward, she starts her day job, but she is doted by Aruru and Kamyu throughout the day, frustrating Kion in the process. Later that night, during dinner, Kion continues being pampered, and this prevents her from enjoying her favorite meal. She tries to make Haiku feed her, but he ends up taking it for himself, making her even more angry. With Kiru by his side, they end up eating it all, and Kion continues to rage inside. Later on, Kion decides to have a quiet time to herself by having her bath, but she is soon interrupted by her sisters, who decide to check out her body and see how well she has developed over the years. Meanwhile, Kiru starts to blush after listening in on the girls' conversation while taking a bath, and Haiku teases him about it, causing him to be embarrassed. Aruru and Kamya head back to Tsukuru for the night, much to Kion's relief. However, they reveal that they will be back tomorrow morning, as Kion looks worried. Shortly after, Haiku joins her, and she confronts him about eating her favorite meal during dinner, even though she told him that she wanted one, but Haiku tells her that she messed up the sign. She scolds him once again for not knowing when she needed his help, and punishes him for his negligence. The following morning, Kion's sisters realize that she is missing after she leaves a funny-looking handwritten letter, and they question Haiku about her whereabouts. They believe she ran away from them and enlists his help in looking for Kion. Meanwhile, Kion is at the market square, finally having the chance to enjoy skewers, but she discovers that her sisters are looking for her, and she quickly hides from them. They are unable to sense Kion's presence, as she brought a scent canceller with her, and Haiku is forced to buy some skewers for Aruru and Kamya, leaving him broke in the process. After they leave, Kion becomes angry that Haiku betrayed her and decides to not return home again. She continues to have fun by going to a candy store, but Haiku brings her sisters over there to look for her once again, prompting her to hide yet again. The girls then buy some candy to the detriment of Haiku. He takes them to all of Kion's favorite spots, but she manages to evade them, and Haiku has to spend more money. Haiku becomes sad and decides to get away from the girls as soon as he gets the chance. Not long after, the girls head to the bookstore, but Haiku remarks that Kion can never be here, as she does not like to read, but the sisters decide to look for her anyways. They find out that the store is filled with indecent books, and they start to lament for not raising Kion right. Haiku tries to escape while they are distracted, but an angry Kion stops him and scolds him for helping her sisters discover her location, even though she has never been to the bookstore. Aruru and Kamya become very happy after finding Kion, and they head home to celebrate. At home, Kion's sisters try to convince her to leave with them, but she rejects their offer. They tell her that she has grown up, and they are happy she has a good friend that understands her. They threaten Haiku to always take care of Kion and not make her cry, or they would make him suffer for it. They prepare to leave, but they continue to treat Kion like a child, which prompts her to shout at them, and they leave. Later on, Aruru and Kamya arrive at the Atui Palace and reveal that they are here to offer a hand of friendship from their nation to hers. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If this this video is the most popular of our latest collection of recaps, we will make a part 4. Let us know what series you want us to recap next in the comments below.